Brother, what is the cuck chair like? Grifting, and you see people like Luke Stevens and Asmongold doing it a lot, and it just basically means these people have no integrity whatsoever.
A few moments later.
I can't believe the morning I woke up and I was like, holy crap, like one of my favorite YouTubers, Asmongold, was like making a video, responding to my video. For a second, I was panicking. I was like, oh man, I hope he likes it. I hope he likes it. I hope he likes it.
What's up, guys? Destructor here, and today we're talking about the guy who got fathered by Ackman himself, who is known as the anti-woke grifter cuck himself, AndyPants. Now, for those who don't know about AndyPants, yeah, this guy is a complete fucking loser. And let's talk about the Ackman debate briefly. Now, I already went into detail in my last video there, which you should go watch, by the way, where I go into extensive detail. Now, all you need to really know about this particular debate is, well...
somebody on your server actually called a black person a monkey. It's funny that you bring up
no way.
No.
One person in my fucking Discord server said something racist once? Oh my god. Oh my god. He's so based. Are you for real, bro? Are you for real? Don't come at me with this fucking weak shit.
No. And look, I will be the first person to say that there's stuff on my Discord that happens that I don't know about. My only point in saying this is that there's nobody more racist than leftists like you. Nobody is more racist.
How the fuck did you extrapolate that? Do you have brain damage? How did you extrapolate this from some fucking random? This is what you come at me with, bro? So, oh my god. So this is weak.
No, dude,
you ain't no Giga Chad, bro. This is...
Dude, I'm just telling you that somebody on your server, there's a black guy from my community on your server, and he got called a monkey, and then somebody said that he lived in a mud hut. So I guess these are the people that you...
Well, thank you for bringing that to my attention, because I can talk to my mods and take action against this. If action hasn't already been taken. Well, this is the hard-hitting stuff. The Discord messages from random users in a public server.
Yeah. So no, I thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny because it shows how racist you are that one person got in your server and said something racist, and that I'm putting all on you. And you're a leftist, and you're like, are you retarded, Andy? You're not retarded. There's no way you can make this possible connection through any logical means and actually believe it.
Yeah, that whole debate was a complete fucking shit show. And I find it funny that it's like, oh, look, you're racist. LOL, your fans say monkey. That means you're racist because left is racist. LOL, because like one bad apple means that entire side in person is bad. Okay, that totally makes sense. By that logic, someone who's far right does the same shit. Oh, that means they're all racist too by that logic. Like, you see how fucking stupid and retarded that shit is? And it just shows how, like, fucking pathetic he is. But after that whole debate happened where Ackman completely fathered him, yeah, AndyPants kind of was just going full-on bipolar disorder over here with, like, unlistening video, private in the video, like, fucking, like, putting it back up, enabling comments, like, disabling comments. Like, this guy couldn't make up his fucking mind with the video. It got so fucking bad that he had to fucking copyright strike Ackman's fucking, like, stream when he re-uploaded to his channel, showing, like, comments enabled and stuff, pretty much, like, owning it once again. He did that shit, and it got, like, even the anti-woke losers pretty much was just like, fuck this guy. And not to mention, when it comes to his Discord, if you try to join his Discord, yeah, good fucking luck. This guy's pretty much decided to turn off all the invitations off and completely remove it from his fucking, like, links in his YouTube thing, because he had it beforehand, and now it's not. And this has been a complete fucking shit show. One thing that you should know about AndyPants is that he actually used to have an Xbox channel called Andy Xbox, where he pretty much just did similar content, at least from what I can tell. But since there's no videos on that channel anymore, since he pretty much private unlisted them all, gee, I wonder why. We're gonna go over this one quickly, the Asmongold thing. Yeah, for some reason this guy loves Asmongold, but when you actually look at like this little clip here, it shows that he is a grifter. So like, what is it? Do you think he's a grifter or do you think he's fucking awesome?
I can't believe the morning I woke up and I was like, holy crap. Like one of my favorite YouTubers, Asmongold, was like making a video, responding to my video. And and for a second I was panicking. I was like, oh man, I hope he likes it. Like if he doesn't like this video, like I might kill myself. So there's this thing you see on YouTube a lot now, and it's called grifting, and you see people like Luke Stevens and Asmongold doing it a lot, and it just basically means these people have no integrity whatsoever. One of my favorite YouTubers, Asmongold, and it basically means you just regurgitate whatever the popular opinion to have right now is. One of my favorite YouTubers, Asmongold, you have no integrity, and you will just regurgitate whatever people want to hear.
That one didn't age quite so well.
My theory is that fucking AndyPants likes Asmongold because he helped him by reacting to like his like infamous like masculinity video. I think that's the reason why he likes Asmongold all of a sudden, because there's no way you have a 180 switch all of a sudden when we all know your genuine thoughts. But speaking of grifter, yeah, when it comes to Andy Panties over there, you know, this guy is just really weird. So he actually did like a response video like, is AndyPants a grifter? And keep in mind, this video is unlisted. Yeah, this guy's a complete fucking pussy. And he put like a little descriptions like, I never before a false copyright strike, you know, rah 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 rah, and fucking turn off the comments just to make lib cucks mad. This guy is just going on a complete cope fest. And the only way you can access this video, at least as of now, is through like the Redditors melting down over Space Marine's massive success. So this guy decides to make a video addressing like one of the biggest like critiques about him, that he's a grifter and stuff, and all the shit that, you know, people have been throwing at him, just for it to be unlisted. Like, what's the logic in that? That is so like fucking retarded. But we're gonna go over this video, by the way.
Guys, it's because they're gay. They're homosexuals. They're part of the LGBTQ community. And people are so pissed right now, guys, that I'm speaking the truth. I'm like one of the few people on YouTube speaking the truth about this junk, and they hate me so much, and they want to discredit me so badly. So anybody that you see calling me a grifter, just look in their bio. I guarantee you they have pronouns in their bio.
Off to a good start with the low-hanging fruit. Lol, they're gay. Duh, pronouns. I'm sorry, I didn't call them cucks too, just to fucking like get the AndyPants bingo card of like insults. But to be honest, the reason why people are calling you out, my guy, is because, number one, you're a complete hypocrite, because you go on and say, like, Halo Infinite's bad, but then, like, previously you said, like, it was your second favorite game of, like, 2021. It's like, that's the reason why people are calling you out, because you're a fucking, like, retard and shit. It's not because of, like, oh, you're telling the truth. Nobody fucking cares. It's just so dishonest of you, the way how you present your videos, because you got lucky that Asmongold reacted to one of your videos and it blew up for your channel that has over 2.5 million views. You decided to just pivot and make your content all about that instead of like the well-meaning, articulate videos you had in the past where you actually nuance opinions, and you realize, this will actually make me money. There's a reason why you had this like nice little thing going before the Ackman completely fathered you.
So as I hope you're beginning to see, I have never changed my position on wokeness and leftism. I have always hated gay trash in games, and I want to see this stuff removed.
Listen, homie, the amount of mental gymnastics you have to do is fucking hilarious. No one was calling you a grifter because you were a quote-unquote leftist back then. No one really gave the fuck about your politics that way. Alright, the reason why people are calling you a fucking grifter is because you did a complete 180 in your viewpoints, catering to like a far-right audience about like why gaming sucks is because like everything's gay, everything's woke and stuff, when you really were not like this. You were like somewhat like moderate. You were like open to like new games, like, oh, this is fun because of mechanics. Now everything's like, oh, it's all trash, this and that, rah rah rah, wokeness, women are ugly. pretty much just catering to like the saddest, loneliest, like lowest common denominator of fucking people who are just angry at the world because no one wants to fucking get them because they're fucking like borderline incel beliefs, and you just managed to struck gold with those fucking losers.
I called out the wokies, and I did have one unfortunate sentence in that video, and it was this. I said, quote, "The more gay, lesbian, trans, and female characters we have in games, the better." And all I can say is that I don't agree with that sentence anymore. This was almost 5 years ago now, and I think I was much more of a centrist at the time. But of course, the Ackman, being the pride parade going dude that he is, completely takes this out of context to make it look like I'm some woke leftist or something, when that's a complete lie, and he knows it. But the Ackman is pretty good at lying and breaking the 9th commandment. So now what I will say is that I've never been anti-diversity in games. I'm not one of these people who says, games need to be all white people. I only want to see white people in games. I'm not going to say that.
Funny, I don't recall Ackman ever really saying that you were some like leftist or anything like that when he mentioned that quote. What's he have to say about that?
But see, like, the audience you've cultivated is not going to like something that you say here.
Oh, great. I can't wait.
Yeah, these are your words. The more gay, lesbian, trans, and female characters we have in games, the better. The more diverse perspectives we have in games, the better they will always be. This isn't really lining up with the direction your channel is going in, does it?
Yeah. What I will say is that about a year ago, I was backing Xbox, and I think it's pretty commonly known that I used to have an Xbox channel. And then I think in those moments of me backing Xbox, I would say stupid stuff at some points. And, you know, if anybody wants to find that or Google that or whatever, I don't really give a
is that
shit.
one of those stupid things you don't think?
Yeah. Well,
so you completely 180 that?
So yes, it was stupid. And so
yeah, I don't buy that fucking bullshit for 1 second. Okay, Ackman's not really saying you're some weird leftist like that. What in the fuck are you trying to go on about? Again, no one's really like saying to yourself, "Oh, you only want whites and stuff." People are criticizing you because, well, again, as I said before, you flip-flop from like being like, "Oh, you're open to that type of shit," and now you're completely against it because, oh, it's the DEI. You're going all full conspiracy brain on this fucking bullshit. Okay, and when you had that fucking quote, when people mention it, it looks really sus because, well, how can you be going to say, "Oh, anti-diversity, this crap," but then you say something that's like pro-diversity? Like, make up your fucking mind, my guy. No one's really saying you're some racist or anything like that. It's just weird. You're just being a fucking, like, hypocritical retard as usual.
Another clip the Ackman pulled about me showed me at one time saying that I thought Asmongold was a grifter, and now he's become one of my favorite YouTubers. I don't know what to say about this other than that my viewpoint on Asmongold changed. When I was first introduced to Asmon, I thought he was a grifter. Yeah, but as I watched him more, I realized the dude was really based. So I was wrong, and sometimes we're wrong about things, and we change. The one final thing people have been complaining about is that I copy-striked Ackman's video in which he re-uploaded our discussion. The funny thing about this is that I never called it a debate, by the way. It was just supposed to be an edgy discussion, and people are now calling it a debate. Anyway, this was honestly just a mistake, and as soon as I realized what I had done wrong, I corrected my error. YouTube informs you when somebody else has re-uploaded your content, and my immediate thought was, why is he re-uploading our debate when it's already on my channel? But I talked to a few people, and this is very common. So basically, as soon as I realized my mistake, I apologized to the Ackman, and I lifted the copyright. And look, I'd never done a debate before, so I didn't know this, and it was just an honest mistake.
Just come out and say that you liked Asmongold's son because he reacted to your video and helped your career. Stop fucking lying. Unless you can provide examples of me, you think, oh, this guy's actually pretty base. Like, what was the videos and shit and his takes that made you think, you know what, I like Asmongold now all of a sudden? Like, let's just cut to the fucking bullshit. Like, I don't buy this crap for a second. It's just for fucking monetary reasons, okay? Like, just stop fucking lying to yourself. And also, when it comes to, like, the whole Ackman thing with the copyright shit, yeah, I don't fucking believe you for a second. Considering the fact that you both agreed that you can just, like, have Ackman upload on his fucking channel after like this little discussion you had with him, whatever. Yeah, I don't fucking believe it for a second. And when you got caught by everyone, you just had to retract and just pretty much do full on damage control with this shit. Yeah, you're not some fucking noob to this. You've been doing YouTube longer than I have, for Christ's sakes. Even longer than my shitty ass wrestling channel. I used to do that fucking garbage. So I don't want to fucking hear a goddamn thing. So shut up, bitch.
Degenerates like you belong on a cross.
I think I know why Andy called himself AndyPants Gaming. It's because he can't keep his hands out of his pants. Because when it comes to this guy and women, oh dear God, this guy just wants to jerk off to fucking hot females. I swear to fucking God, he's probably into some really weird like gaming porn shit. It would not fucking shock me because the way how he talks all about the uglified women are in gaming now, it's really fucking like sus. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, dude, there's much better things to worry about in a game than like if the woman's hot or not. Because let's be real, it's not gonna make a damn difference if a game like Concord had like women who look like prime Scarlett Johansson. The game would still suck ass. And if a woman had like a Butch Dyke but had like the storytelling and gameplay of Fallout New Vegas, it's still gonna be awesome. It just has kind of an ugly bitch in it. Like, who fucking cares? In fact, I'm gonna play like little snippets of just how fucking pervertedly down bad this guy is, and let's get into the next part after this.
Okay, and you got a hot chick on the back. Like, dude, I'm in. I want to play this game now. Have you noticed they never talk about the obvious uglification of women in games the past few years? I mean, it wouldn't hurt, dude. Is that idea so ridiculous? But you will never hear these guys complaining about why women are so ugly in video games now, and older games had hot women in them. Old games were edgy, had hot women in them. Who decided that every woman in games now needs to be ugly and every man needs to be attractive?
I'm gonna come.
Alright guys, what's up? I've never really done a collab before, so we're just gonna see how this turns out, but shit. So in today's video, we're gonna be talking about AndyPants Gaming, the biggest snowflake on YouTube. And when I say snowflake, I'm not exaggerating. This guy has like one of the most fragile egos I've ever seen. This guy is basically the embodiment of a man-child. I mean, not even this guy's own fans like him at this point, which is just straight up sad. But yeah, today we're gonna be talking a little bit about my debate with AndyPants, as well as a few other things. We're not gonna go super into detail, but I'm gonna, give my side of the story real quick. So about 2 weeks ago, I confronted AndyPants on one of his streams that's now deleted. And basically, I asked him what he thought of internet grifters. And essentially, it kind of just went downhill from there because he immediately went on the defense and was like, oh, I'm assuming you're talking about my old channel. And it was just like, hey man, I just wanted to know what you thought of internet grifters, man. I don't know why you're talking about your old channel. Anyways, to kind of simplify things, basically AndyPants tries to claim that he never changed from his old content. And then I bring up, well, okay, you never changed from your old content, but I literally have a comment right here of you saying, oh, you love diversity in video games. And then on your new channel, you were complaining about diversity in video games, saying it's woke, it's DEI, it's ESG, it's BlackRock. And then basically this guy is like, no, I actually love diversity in video games. And then he goes on to make up a weird little lie about Concord, saying that there was 3 black women in Concord and 0 white men, which is just wrong. There was a white man in Concord. So this guy just straight up lied. And I didn't catch it at the time, but he was like, yeah, don't you think that's weird? And I was like, in the moment, I was like, yeah, I do think that's a little bit weird, but I don't think it's a really relevant talking point. And I definitely don't think it's relevant enough to try and bring up against the Act Man, to try and be like, oh, Act Man didn't talk about this, so he's a woke communist liberal. And then essentially AndyPants busts out the Twitter logic and is like, well, everybody disagreed with you because they love my video. And then I'm like, okay, what, are we just using Twitter logic? And then he goes on to insult me, and then I'm like, and then basically I say, well, I guess if we're gonna act like children, and then he kicks me mid-sentence. So overall, just, massive snowflake behavior. This guy knew that I was right, and he knew that he had to get me off the stream so he didn't look stupid in front of his audience. But joke's on him, eventually he just made himself look more stupid in the end. And basically ever since that debate, he has been basically scared of me, and now is scared of Destructor. Like, he won't respond to Destructor, he won't respond to me. He'll respond to and complain about everybody else, but not me, not Destructor. He's scared of us, bro. It is so weird. Anyways, yeah, to wrap things up, AndyPants is a snowflake, and if you want to see me and AndyPants' full debate, then you can go check it out on my channel. Maybe Destructor will leave like a link in the description or something. Anyways, yeah, that's about it, guys. See ya.
The one thing I do kind of find funny about this guy is that he keeps talking about masculinity in video games. Like, it'd be one thing if he just did it as a one-off, but this guy's done it numerous times. There are 3 examples, like, what killed masculinity in video games, when did games become so soft, and the pussification of video games. And when you notice with these videos, how the intros start, like, in the first, like, 10 or so seconds of each video, they all are just the fucking same. I'm not even kidding, like, dead ass, they're the fucking same. Like, here.
Does anybody else feel like masculinity has slowly been drained from modern video games? Does anybody else notice how soft games have become the past 10 years? Today, I want to talk about the great pussification of video games that has happened the past 20 years.
This guy is unfucking believable.
I often wonder why so few modern games appeal to me, and I think another big reason is this. Everything is just so gay now. Compare the games I just mentioned to the modern trash we have to deal with in Overwatch and Apex. Almost every character in these new games is either gay, lesbian, bisexual, trans, or something else.
Let's go over is what killed masculinity in video games. I'm not going to go into depth, I'm only going to do a couple points. But the first thing I have to really say is that, like, why he thinks it sucks is because, like, oh, everything's so gay now. Dude, maybe it's just because times have changed. I know it sounds cliche, but, like, not everyone's going to be interested in the same, like, balls to the wall, like, masculine games. Me personally, I would love it, you know, if games were more like Fallout, you know, Gears of War, like Halo, that type of shit. I would love it because, you know, I grew up in those games. I love those games. You and I would probably get along on those aspects. We could love those fucking edgy games and shit. But it's just people now just don't really care. Culture has changed. If you want things to change and be great again or whatever in your mind, you have to change culture yourself by making the type of art that would appeal to people. Because I feel like the younger generation, like people now, would actually be interested in that type of stuff. You, instead of like crying like a fucking boomer, maybe actually make the stuff that people will be interested in that you like.
This recent Reddit thread was written by an actual game developer and made me realize this. It reads, headline,
"Am I allowed to say this? I kinda hate gamers. I'm a professional game designer and I'm worried that I'm starting to hate gamers. Watching the gaming events on YouTube last month with the chat on was extremely disheartening experience. Every time a character that wasn't a cis-het white man appeared on screen, the chats would fill with messages calling the game woke or complaining about DEI. Every game that wasn't a shooter or a hyper-casual competitive online game garnered zzz and boring comments. I've seen people implying that the MC in Fable trailers is ugly because it's a self-insert of some random level designer working at Playground whom they deemed not fuckable enough. I don't know, it's just the internet magnifying negative voices, I guess, doing what it does best. But it's making me real tired of gamers."
So
if you actually paid attention, read what the actual Reddit post was about, it was really talking about like the toxicity of like gamers and shit, because some gamers are just like, I want hot chicks, because these guys are like fucking virgin-filled like Discord Reddit users all day long 24/7. They just love that type of shit, and that game developer gets fucking tired of it because people say the same shit. It's like, oh, I want this and that. It's like, it's not going to make the game any better because, you know, people are frustrated dealing with like morons. If you actually really notice, but knowing you really can't keep your hands in your pants there, buddy, so you just don't really give a shit.
A few moments later.
Time for video number 2, the pussification of video games. Yeah, this video is just complete cringe. I mean, nothing screams more masculine than crying about how video games are so pussified, because back in my day, video games were all masculine. It's like, you're really going to be crying about this shit? So let's go over this video briefly.
So to find 6 modern games, I didn't have to look very far. I literally just went to the front page of Xbox Game Pass and found these games. This is clearly what Phil and his team of homos actually expects us men to play. Here they are: Creatures of Ava, Dungeons of Hinterberg, Flintlock Siege of Dawn, Flock, Magical Delicacy, and Chia. Now you might say, oh, Andrew, you're specifically picking out games aimed at children. No, dude, I'm literally just going to the front page of Game Pass, and these are 6 games featured on the front page of Game Pass.
There's no way these are AAA games, because these games look like fucking indie games. When you go to Xbox Game Pass and stuff, of course they're gonna recommend shit like that, okay? Like, come on, are you fucking serious? Because when it comes to those games, they can use the boost and advertise as much as they can get from Xbox. Like, what, do you expect them to advertise Call of Duty, Halo, Gears of War, or something like Starfield or some shit like that? Whatever the fuck is like a trending game on like Xbox? Because if you expect that, then you're a fucking imbecile. Because without that advertisement, these games are just going to be fucking quickly forgotten about and will never be discovered, because if you look like, this game looks interesting, maybe I'll try it. And if you happen to like it, and you can actually, help the game out by spreading the word. It's really a fucking simple business model, my guy. It's not really that deep.
2024 Dungeons of Hinterberg. Armed with a sword and a tourist guide, explore the beautiful alpine village of Hinterberg and uncover the magic hidden within its dungeons. Master magic, solve puzzles, slay monsters. All this and more awaits you in Hinterberg. Like, okay, I like swords, but based on the game's art style, I know within the first 5 minutes, we're meeting somebody's non-binary boyfriend. Like, nah, dude, I'm good. Now compare this with the 2013 masterpiece, Ride to Hell Retribution. Back of the box says this: 2 fists, 2 wheels, no rules.
Nah, man, this guy is not serious, because when you actually see his premise, it's basically compared the description of old games to new games, and he compares this new game as armed with the sword and stuff. Yeah, it looks like an anime thing. I don't know why you're calling it gay. It just kind of looks like a colorful anime style looking game with its own thing. It's whatever, not for me personally, but it seems relatively harmless. And then for some reason, you decided to put over Ride to Hell Retribution. Probably one of the worst games of all time, period. Everyone knows the game is hot garbage. No one liked it. But since it has hot women and a masculine guy, you'll gladly just play the game over this. This really just shows that A, you're a grifting troll. This is kind of why people call you a grifter. And B, you have no fucking taste. Let's just be honest here, you faggot.
You stupid bitch.
On to the last video in this cringe masculinity arc, and it's when did games become soft? And I have to just say this, just by showing these examples and going through this whole content barrel, I hope you guys understand that AndyPants is just very gay. This guy, when he constantly talks about masculinity 24/7, I'm just going to assume you're gay as shit. So let's get into this lovely video.
So now you might say, Andrew, why do you even need edgy and offensive games? Why can't you just be happy with the safe, watered-down schlock that's made in 2024? And I would ask in response, why do you care what I do in my free time? I enjoy being able to do whatever the hell I want in a game, and it's clear millions and millions of other people feel the same way. GTA 5 is still the #2 best-selling game of all time, and is incredibly offensive by 2024 standards.
Maybe it's because GTA 5 is good because of the gameplay, not because it's edgy, because that whole series is known for being offensive as shit. GTA 5 isn't really breaking any new grounds. It's really because, Rockstar managed to put so much fucking, effort and money into, the multiplayer to the point they were fucking milking it. And there's a reason why it was, the second best-selling game of all time by your logic. It's not because of the, edginess. It's come on, bro, you really have fucking simple. Plus, not every game needs to be edgy, because there's a thing called families. There's a reason why Nintendo sells so well, or will always sell more than Microsoft or PlayStation, is because it's for everybody. Because edgy games, yeah, it appeals to people like you, myself. I love edgy games, but it's not for everyone. So that's why games should be for everyone. So we have some games that are edgy for people like us, and then you have the more safer, family-friendly games for others. It's not because it's this woke garbage. I don't know where you're getting this logic from, my guy.
My smaller theory is that artists in the Western world, meaning America and Europe, tend to be more progressive. As video games and gaming has grown in popularity as a hobby, more people have entered this field through art schools and schools like Full Sail. Now, if you think about the actual people making these games, people who go into the arts tend to be more progressive, more sensitive, and less tolerant of hurting people's feelings.
As we saw here, he has 2 theories. We're going with the smaller theory first, as we see. Yeah, it's really fucking simple. Maybe actually start making games. If you want games to be cool again, instead of just going to complain about on the internet, it's all games were better back in my day, that type of bullshit, which, hey, I love those old games too. I am preferring those games. Looking at my channel, I play nothing but late 2000 games for the most part. If you want that shit to be good, start making the games yourself. Start taking the culture back. Take it back from these progressives. It's not fucking difficult. I love to have some cool-ass edgy games to play again, where I see nothing but that shit, but we're never going to get that because we're just going to sit our ass and do fuck all.
In 2007, $22 billion were spent on all console games, so that's Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox. Now, in 2022, about $25 billion were spent on all console games. So every single dollar spent on Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation accounted for $22 billion in 2007 and $25 billion in 2022. In case you don't know, that's not good because the population is going up and yet console games are not growing. There's literally no growth in the console market. The number has barely even gone up for inflation. So now let's look at cell phone games. In 2007, about $5 billion were spent on cell phone games. In 2022, about $100 billion were spent on cell phone games. Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, has been saying this a lot. When everyone games, we all win. Is it beginning to make sense why he said this? The console market has stagnated and there's no growth in it. Meanwhile, cell phone game revenue keeps climbing and climbing and climbing.
There's many factors. I mean, the obvious reasons are because, well, PC gaming is just better. Like, you don't have to spend as much money. Because with consoles, you have to spend, like, a bunch of money, like, every so often just so you can just keep up to date with the current games. Because PC game is like, nah, we don't need to fucking, like, deal with this bullshit. Not to mention when it comes to, like, phone games, they're literally cheaper and quicker to play, and like will not require as much money to spend as say like a console. Because if a console costs like, let's just say in this current fucking shithole, like $600 or some shit, that's gonna be like way less expensive than a phone that's gonna cost at most half of that shit. And you get fucking games for free on that. So of course people are gonna like spend with their money and go for like the phone games, which is a big reason why there's so much fucking growth. Like, it's not really hard to fucking see. Same with PC gaming, because all you really need to do is spend like $1,000 or something for a decent game PC, and boom, you will actually be good for like a long ass time. Or compare that to like say a console. Like in 10 years, like if you're spending this shit on consoles, you'll be spending more than a fucking game PC. It's really fucking simple.
And I got news for you. That means you're gay.
I hope you all realize that this guy is just hella gay. This guy is a straight up faggot ass queer. Holy shit. The amount of times he just repeats himself saying that shit is fucking hilarious. Just talking about how, oh, masculinity this, masculinity that, oh, fucking this game is gay, this game is woke, you know, trans. It's just like, you're hiding in the closet. Just come out of the closet already. It's fucking embarrassing. But I have to just call you out. I want to debate you. Come on, I want to debate you about someone. So I want to have a nice discussion with you. It'd be really fun. Like, just come on, accept my debate. Don't fucking ghost me. Like, you already know my existence. If they're gonna watch this, just fucking just say yes or no. If they're gonna do an actual debate, like set it up. Like you versus me and Rince, we'll have a great old time together. Because at the end of the day, I know that you fear me and you're Ackman's bitch. So I hope you'll enjoy this little burial. Take care, and of course, fuck AndyPants.